All right, so we're in the shop today. Got a Honda Odyssey here, 2014. And we're gonna change the A-arms, which are right here. Assuming you probably know that if you're watching this video. I put struts on it last week, and I had every intention of filming that, but I didn't. Yeah, I just didn't want to. I just wanted to get the job done. Filming and working, I don't know. Sometimes it's annoying. It's actually almost always annoying, to tell you the truth. And just didn't work out in the psychology of things that day. I couldn't get my head there. But the A-arms are simpler, and I'm not pressed for time. So when you go to change the A-arms, it helps if you have a shop and a lift. Shit ton of tools make a difference. You might be doing it in your driveway. You can do that. Just, that's a younger man's game. So what I want to point out is that when it comes to changing the A-arms, well, this is the A-arm. I'm changing her A-arms because this van has 200,000 miles on it, and they need to be changed. The ball joint is especially worn out. So the A-arm just has 3 points of contact, 1, 2, and 3. This is the ball joint. I know that a lot of people think about doing this job and think, man, I gotta take all this crap off. I mean, it just seems like so much. Well, you don't. You do and you don't. You don't have to take all of this crap off individually. It's all gonna disconnect after the removal of one nut. And that's this one. And then you take these out and just drop it out. Reassembly is the same. When you go to reassemble it, on this particular, this is our bushing. We'll leave that bolt loose until we can set it so that it's like in a normal ride height position, and then you'll tighten it down. It keeps from preloading the bushing and prevents premature wear. So what we're gonna note is these are all 19 millimeter. In this particular setup here, just got a gear wrench on here, and we're just gonna run it off by hand. Now, I have no interest in the condition of this ball joint after it's over. Not trying to save it. We're going to separate it with a pickle fork. At least we're going to try. I leave the nut on top so it just doesn't go flying apart. Try to control the chaos, you know. So we're all free. I'm going to take my nut off. And we're just going to pull it out. that one in first, and then swing it around. This one to line up. Three-point puzzle. All right. There we go. It's like everything always comes apart easier than it goes back. But we're good. So we'll put our bolts back in. This will be the tricky one, because it's the one that stays in a crooked angle. All right. Now this one you can tighten. And this one, we'll just run it in. So on these, the ball joint is going to want to spin, so we'll have to put pressure on it, usually, except not this one. It's pretty sweet, worked out good. Alright, so don't forget the safety pin. Now it comes with a cotter key. This is the factory one. I like the factory. Alright, so after you get the A-Arm in, you can put the wheel back on, lower it down on the ground, turn the wheel so you can get access, get in there, tighten up your last bolt while it's sitting level with weight on it. And then you'll be done. Alright, well, we did it. Now, I went ahead and changed the A-Arm on the other side. I didn't see no reason to film it. It's exactly the same as this side. I don't really get too worried about the torque because you're not really tightening against the rubber. You know, there's a giant surface there that you're clamping against. You just get it tight, the rubber does its work. As far as the ball joint goes, you just tighten it till it's tight and then keep tightening it until you can get to the hole. If it's wrong, you'll likely never get to the hole, so you went too far, but I don't know, you surely don't need that much guidance. On my case, I tighten them until with a hand, you know, with the gear wrench by hand, without a cheater pipe or anything. I just pulled them until it was about as tight as I could go, and the hole was there. It was like, it stopped right where it was supposed to. So anyway, that's how you do it. Really no alignment required. However, if you're at the place where your stuff's wore out, you've probably had an alignment somewhere along the way with parts that were at least worn. Things have changed now. It's a good idea to get an alignment. In the case of this van, it's going to get new tires, it's had new struts, new A-arms, and it's going to get an alignment. Thanks for watching. One more thing. The lug nut torque for a 2014 Honda Odyssey Touring is 94 foot-pounds, 95 foot-pounds, just somewhere around there. It's 95. It's important to use a torque wrench when you do lug nuts. Now, I personally believe that the number one, there are several factors. Cheap quality rotors, you know, shit like that could come into play. If you got good quality rotors, you're less likely to have rotor warping. If your rotors are worn, they're getting thin, they're more prone to warping, especially going from hot and cold, you know, hitting puddles. You know, that can play a role, but I think generally speaking, in my opinion, one of the leading causes to rotors warping is people don't actually torque the lug nuts. When I say people, it's mostly these shops with these kids in there, and there's an impact gun, they just run that shit down, and it's not. It's just wrong, man. So when you use a torque wrench, aside from the clamping pressure of the lug nuts being appropriate in accordance with the way the engineers have determined it needed to be for that particular wheel and everything else, you're keeping the pressure that spreads across the face of the rotor equal. If you're just running them down and hammering them down, and one of them, they're supposed to be 95, but one of them's at 110, and the other one's at 130, and the other one's at 105, and the other one's at 122, like, it's not even. And when these things get hot, the metal in the rotor will tend to somewhat conform to the pressure that's running across the face of it, and the pressure is uneven, so it changes its shape. That's what I believe happens. Anyway, I mean, I'm just a hillbilly, really. I mean, I ain't even pretty. I'm certainly not smart, but that's what I think. I don't never in any of my videos say, hey, like and subscribe. I just put out what I think is genuine and authentic communication. You can like and subscribe if you want to. I don't really give a shit. And I figure most people want authenticity. And when they see something they like, they'll grab it, they'll keep it, and they'll come back to it. I don't put a lot of effort into making videos. I actually have a life, you know, I'm busy. But I do it occasionally when I'm in the mood or feel like doing it. And I never really felt compelled to ask people to like and subscribe. But after Trump won the election, I saw all these people like, what is this 4B movement? Oh, I never heard of such a thing. I mean, I knew people were brainwashed, but to that extent, I had no clue. I'm not really sure I understand necessarily the human behavior of people today like I thought I did. I don't know anybody like that. I've never met anybody like that. I do live in Texas, and I do pretty much keep to myself, but maybe I should be suggesting that people like and subscribe. I don't know. I'm not going to. It's uncomfortable to me. It's awkward. I don't want to ask you for anything. Because the fact is, I really don't care. But maybe I should. I don't know. Anyway, good luck with your Honda Odyssey. If that's what you happen to be working on and you're changing A-arms. And thanks for watching.